we're here in the front of the bus and we're working on the walls. We're looking at how that transitions into this area here. We start looking at what is this piece right here. It's not part of the frame. It's not part of anything. I can't really tell you what it's for. It's kind of metallic, but anyways, once we start looking at it, and there's one on the other side too, it doesn't really serve any purpose. And I think we have the ability here to just get rid of it. Also, we're gonna get rid of this big panel across the top. We watched a video from Andy on their bus. Theirs seemed to be one big piece and they had to cut it. Ours seems to be two pieces screwed together. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that. We're gonna get rid of these two side panels and that'll really open up this area right here. And then we can continue and tie into the front of the bus with our trim, etc. So you get to cutting. It looks like we have some beautiful tape here with a screw buried way back in there. How do I get this out now? Oh my gosh. Why?
Hi.
Why would you glue that together?
Hi, guys.
Hi guys.
Where's Mom?
She over there
Where?
in the back.
Yeah. Mommy?
Oh, the glue man has been here. Oh, there's an air hose that goes in here.
Yeah.
Crap.
Wow, you got the shower in.
That was here last time.
Yeah.
Maybe we can't just take this out.
What out?
This big pole thing right here. Oh, it is. That's aluminum. Of course it's aluminum. What else would it be?
You always say aluminum.
This
Yeah.
is a big piece of aluminum.
You always say aluminum.
It is.
It's like everything is aluminum in here.
This part, this stainless steel.
Why do you say aluminum?
Because this is made out of aluminum.
What is aluminum?
Aluminum is not magnetic.
Magnetic? What?
These guys instead of the like socket that I was using. So I guess it's made for these, but it gets them like way tighter. Wish I would have known that about 300 bolts later.
I need my tape.
You live and you learn, right?
I need my tape.
One of the things that we need to do in making this piece that goes across is I need to trim this bracket right here. As you can see, it's kind of proud a little bit. It'll interfere with my trim or my fairing strip that's gonna go across here. So we're gonna break out the death wheel and we're gonna get this cut off right about there. And then we should be good. Unfortunately, I don't have my camera holder with me, so I can't give you some in-action footage, but just imagine a lot of sparks flying everywhere and me praying that the disc doesn't explode. Hey everybody, just a little update. So we have our insulation, our furring strips, etc. just to about this last window here. And then we're trying to figure out what we want to do. Now you can't see, we have our pile of foam and leftover stuff. So I'll show you on this side. The front of the bus on the 102 EL3, E4500s, and J4500s has this slope down right here. So we wanted to figure out what to do with that. Having a curved piece around that would just, while it might be pretty and it might be a nice touch, it just really isn't necessary for us. Like, it doesn't really, we don't get any benefit out of it. So what we're thinking about doing, which I can kind of show you over here, is just to kind of trim it out and make it straight across. So what we're gonna do is we've tinted the window, cut it straight, put a piece of foam in there with a velvet trim, which is exactly the same as what we did on the windows that we blacked out. And as you can see, we get, it's kind of hard to show you, but basically from the outside, you see like this little line inside, which I'm fine with. You know, if you were getting really nitpicky with it and whatnot, you can't tell, right? Like when we're away from the bus. So I think that's gonna be our route that we're gonna go with. So as you can see, I'm taking my furring strips. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna carry those straight across, tie them in down here. So what that means is I'll probably have to make this as one piece, and we'll pocket hole, screw it all together. That way it's nice and strong and it's not flimsy, whatnot. And we'll bolt it into the frame and glue it just like we did the other ones. Plywood it over it, and that'll be plenty strong. And then when we go and do our trim and trim it all out, that'll also add to the strength. And we'll also carry that trim, just like our other windows, we're gonna carry the trim into the windowsill, and that will sit right over the top of our little filler piece here. So that's what we're doing. Also got some plywood up on the wall in the front. Hopefully today we should have the bulk of the front walls completed. So that's what we're working on right now. I'll spare you guys the details of that. I know our last like 3 videos have been nothing but furring strips and walls. Kind of boring, but that's what we're doing for like the last 3 weekends. And we're gonna be doing the ceiling with furring strips and insulation as well. So that's what we're up to. I know it's not a lot of riveting, exciting content, but we got to get it done in order for us to move forward. So this is after we clamped it up and we drilled our holes, and you can see that they're weird looking hole, but we have a nice little recessed, flat-faced hole that we can then insert a screw into and tie into that other piece. I'll go ahead and do that now. Show you what that looks like. All right, so here we go. Here's our joint. You can see we've got our screws in there. And this is a nice tight joint right there, which will work great for our wall. So I'm going ahead and insert 1, 2, 3 more of those, and that'll be our flat section of the wall. All right, so here we go. We've got our front frame all put together. We've got all of our Craig joints and pocket screws all done. So you can see this is one unit now. And back in here. Now we have to screw it into all of the frame, but other than that, that's how we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that screwed in, glued on, put in all the insulation, tape it, and we'll start doing the plywood. I'll give you guys a little break from walls. This orange line right here depicts a 60 by 80 queen size bed. Now we had to shift that over, so we lose 1/2 inch and like a 1/4 inch to the wall, plus another 1/2 inch for trim. We're gonna scoot over the bed. Plus that's 60 by 80, but we also need a little bit for sheets and whatnot. So what we have here is I started putting in a frame. This puts us at about 64, minus some wood, minus some trim. So we'll have about 63 inches. So it'll give us 1.5 inches of space on each side of the bed. I've screwed it down into the floor with some glue. I'm gonna make a bracket up here that ties it up into the roof. We have cross brace. This goes to here. I'll have some stuff over here. We'll tie it all in. What we also have to do is we have to put a post back here in the corner that goes up as well, because the bed is basically going to sit on this box and hang over and into this corner. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this post and we'll tie it all in, just some rough framing. But you can kind of see as we walk in so here's our door. So as we walk into the room, we have about 2 feet of space between the door and the bed, which is plenty enough for me to move around in. We'll have a pocket over here. Not sure if we're gonna do a nightstand or whatnot. The bed will be raised up to match that height. A little bit under 2 feet, I think. Where's my tape measures outside? I think it's a little bit under 2 feet, so it's not too bad, but the bed, because we have to get into that door, the bed will also lift up, so that will give us storage inside of the bed. Then we have about 3 feet on this side of a walkway. Now my toolbox is in the way, but we'll have 3 feet, and then we have like a 2.5 foot by 70 inch. We'll do a single door giant closet back here in the back where the restroom used to be. So I'm going to make a little block off plate for these little valves. We're going to move some of these harnesses out of the way. This guy here was for the little motor that blows the intake. We'll seal all this off because the motor is right there. So we're going to get some nice insulation in here just to make it as quiet as possible. Once we get this corner post in, then we'll start with our going this way with our wall to block off this air vent, and that will give us our 60 by 80 bed frame. And we'll have our closet here. And so that's what I'm kind of just roughly framing in, because I'm sure you guys need a break from walls, but I've been doing walls for like a week and I'm tired of it. So I'm just going to take a little break here and work on this back framing of the bed and the closet. All right, everybody, just the end of the weekend recap. So we have the wall section all furring stripped and insulated out. You see we left a little channel right here. That'll be for the wiring. We're gonna put some outlets in the walls. We'll have to recess those in. We've got the same done on this side. Just can't see it, it's behind all of our stuff. Here you can see these are our water tanks. We have 2 90-gallon water tanks, one fresh, one gray. We've got our walls put up in the back. I brought in a bunch of plywood, and this is kind of the only place I can put it is in the middle of the bathroom right now. Kind of moved all of my tools and all of our stuff that we have, all of our supplies into the bunk area because I started working back here on the back of the bus, trying to figure out what I want to do with this area. Again, we have to work around the intake. This kind of leaves this pocket right here. I'm not sure if it's worthwhile to frame something up and make some type of storage there. I mean, we have a giant closet here. We have storage underneath the bed. We're gonna have a nightstand. We've got the 4 drawers for the kids. I don't know if it's beneficial to go through and do that. So that's where we're at. I know this video wasn't as glamorous as some of the other ones, but it's a lot of work, you know, like each one of these things just has screws and drilling and gluing and all kinds of steps. It's been going through and tidying up the underneath of the bus. This is all of our leftover scraps of foam, the 1-inch foam strips that we did for the windows. I'm not ditching this stuff yet, but I did go through and get rid of a bunch of the small little scraps. Here's our wood. So I know it looks like a lot, but a lot of this is just little tiny pieces, and we're still building, so I don't expect that to stay that way. One of the things that some people don't really talk about is everything on the bus that we buy comes in a box, and everything on the bus is big. And the sheer amount of recycling and cardboard and styrofoam and all that stuff. So I literally filled up the back of my truck just with boxes, you know, the toilet, the shower, the this, the that, the door frames, everything just is big. We're gonna take that home, throw that in a recycling bin. Thanks for watching today's episode. I know it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't as glamorous as some of the other ones, but hopefully we can make some traction moving forward and get into some of the juicier projects. So stay tuned. Have a great week. See you next weekend.
Bye.